The hot topic in news all around the United States today is the disappearance of Gabby Petito. Yesterday, on September 19th, 2021, authorities in the state of Wyoming found human remains that are consistent with those of Gabby Petito. Now, tragic news for sure, but why all the intense coverage for her? There are many women and men, for that matter, who go missing daily in this country. However, on this episode, I'll give a little background to this case, but I really want to focus on what garners a situation like this to get more attention from the media than other cases like this. The Fabulous Form Factor is coming up next.
You're about to enter the zone called the Fabulous Forum Factor, where a world of fabulous facts will come from a traditional forum. And now, without further ado, here's your host, as informative and jubilant as always, Mr. Kenneth Anthony Moultrie.
Hello and welcome to the Fabulous Forum Factor here on this Monday, September 20th, 2021, and I am your host, Mr. Kenneth Anthony Moultrie, and I want to thank you for listening as I'm approximately 3 episodes away from number 100. So as always, I thank you for your continued support as you like, comment, subscribe, and share this or any episode I produce of the Fabulous Form Factor with your social media family. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to get into this Gabby Petito story and her fiance / boyfriend, whatever it is. His name is Brian Laundrie. Now, Laundrie is spelled Laundrie. Brian Laundrie is the guy. Gabby Petito or Petito is the girl. Now, what happened in this case, and like I said in the intro, I want to get into why, not so much of, did something happen to her and did he do it and the fascination of that. But I'm going to go over that a little bit. But I also want to really focus on, like I said in the intro, why a case like this is garnering so much more attention. So just a quick background. So Gabby Petito, she's a young 22-year-old white woman, and she grew up in Long Island, New York, and she went to school with Brian Laundrie, and they both graduated from a high school inside New York City or just outside of New York City back in 2017. Now, in 2019, Gabby moved in with Laundrie's parents in a town called North Point, Florida. Okay, so they've been together, they met, went to high school, and when she got over 20 years old or 19, she moved to Florida with the parents. Now, Gabby's a YouTuber, right? She has an Instagram account like most people do, but she also has a YouTube account. And her YouTube account is named Nomadic Static with a K on the end. Now, so she's very, very popular, and her and Brian planned this particular cross-country trip from New York to California with stops in between going and coming back. So they decided to document this on, of course, the Instagram and mainly the YouTube channel that she has. So every time they made a stop or a significant stop and took pictures, and video, it was posted. And so she had quite the following. So I'm just trying to piece together some little things and tidbits so you could know. So they had this, they took this cross-country trip starting from New York on July 2nd. Now, the trip was supposed to be 4 months. That's what it was calculated to be. So if you would say July, so they would probably be gone to November, something like that. That's how the plan was supposed to go. And it was a 2012 Ford Transit Connect van and it was turned into a camper. So they were kind of like hippies, right? They're driving across the country, staying in the van, eating probably crazy foods and stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with that. Just having a good time and doing what they planned to do for so long. Now, there's reports that Gabby and Brian had planned this trip for months and maybe even a couple of years even before, and now it had now come to fruition that they were taking this trip. So on her journey on her YouTube channel on August 12th, they were in the state of Utah in a town called Moab, Utah, Moab, and apparently they were at a gas station or something, and there was some type of altercation between the two, some pushing, shoving, and some witnesses noted it and took maybe some notes and whatever, called the police. And as it turned out, the guy, Brian Laundrie, he's the one who had scratches on him and even a couple of bruises. And there's a video that you can see online when it's like over an hour long, where you can actually see the stop from the sheriff's department, his body cam. And you can see all the questions he's asking. And then Gabby is sitting in the back of another car. So they're just trying to decipher what went on. So that was the domestic dispute type of thing. So now this is now turning into now what can happen later, because here's the preface about the domestic violence. They've been having these little issues. They've been traveling for 4 months, or not for 4 months, but for a couple of months together. And even Brian on the video say, look, we just been under each other for so long. We just kind of needed a break. And so this is all that's going on, right? So I don't want, like I said, I'm just giving you a little background synopsis of the particular situation. So, and then all of a sudden, on August 24th, Gabby, who's in communication not only on YouTube and Instagram, but with her parents, and all of a sudden, the communication stops, and then there is a text or some sort of communication through social media that she's in Salt Lake City, and the communication goes to the effect to where the mother, Gabby's mother, did not believe that it was actually coming from Gabby. So, right, you've seen movies before, and you've seen to where an assailant will probably get a hold to the phone or a social media gadget and then text and pretend like it's them and they've already disappeared and all that kind of stuff. So the fascination is starting to grow now. And all of a sudden, she goes missing and no one hears from her. And then let's fast forward to just yesterday, which is September 19th, 2021. And they're in a forest called Teton National Forest in Wyoming. And that's when actually a body was found that was consistent with the makeup of Gabby Petito. Now, authorities, as the time I'm making this episode, authorities have not positively identified her, but it's probably more of a foregone conclusion that it is her. She's had a couple of tattoos on her body somewhere that is kind of, like I say, consistent with the body and the remains that police found. So it's looking like, unfortunately, it was her. No matter who it was, there is a human being that's deceased. But for this purpose of this case, this is an unfortunate situation. And now the plot is thickening, because now Brian Laundrie has disappeared. He's driven his van back to Florida. Now, if you have a geographical hat on, from Utah to Florida, that's a long little trek, especially in a camper-like van. It's a long little way, right? So he ends up back in Florida, and then on September 17th, he gets with his parents or something, and then on September 18th, which is just 2 days ago, the parents anyway, report their son, Brian Laundrie, missing. So now you know what people are thinking, right? They're thinking that he did something to her. That's her body back in Wyoming. He's taken off to Mexico or South America or somewhere. The parents aided and abetted him with his disappearance. And now, we have this murder mystery. Who done it? Did he do it? So that's the fascination of this whole thing. Now, let me get on to my part of what I want to discuss. Now, you've seen so many times that when these situations come out where these disappearing girls turn out, and it seems to be that she is a pretty blonde or brunette white female. And a lot of liberals, both black and white, do what they normally do, act on emotion, and don't critically think and figure. And they want to know, why is this garnering so much attention? Because if she was black, if she was Hispanic, then we would not even know about it. Now, I'm here to say, just off the bat, the attention that this got for Gabby, it didn't apparently save her. So let's get that out in the open right now. So attention did not save her. So that did not do any good for her. But a lot of people have went to social media and they do what they do. They pull the race card because that's the only thing that makes them feel good. They want to look for racism under every rock and pebble and boulder that they overturn. And they will make up anything or stick to a particular script that has been created years ago to say that she's a white blonde, she's young, she's pretty, and so therefore that's what's got the attention. Now, here's the first fork in the road that I'm going to take you down, okay? It is not about the person that's missing. In this case, let's just say a young white female. It is not about that. The thing that it's about, ladies and gentlemen, is the suspect, who is now turning out to be her fiance, Brian Laundrie, because he is white. That is the fascination of the media. Want me to tell you why? Because the media garners ratings, and the top ratings that media coverage is getting these days is about race, and that there's this big, bad, racist white person, white man, white male out there, and everybody else is at their mercy. It's the fact that Brian Laundrie is a white male, and there is a possibility that he did something to Gabby, and this is going to fit that narrative that white people, white males in particular, are the big bad wolf. Now, here's what people are not going to believe, but listen to me, I'm telling you, I think I got a good grasp on this, okay? If Brian Laundrie were a black male, okay, if he was a black male, the attention from liberal media outlets would not be the same. Now, let me stop there for 1 second. She was on YouTube, she was on Instagram, and she was posting her whole journey. So this is one of the main reasons why this is getting so much attention, because everyone knows. Everyone knows there's a trail. You've seen her boyfriend, you've seen her, you knew where they were going. People were tracking their every move on a map, like they were living vicariously through them. So this is why this is kind of, one reason anyway, this is gathering the attention, because it's just like the Amber Alert, ladies and gentlemen. People will tell you, people with inferiority complexes will tell you that why certain people get the Amber Alert when they're missing and other people don't. You know why? Because they act on emotion and they don't critically think and they don't know the facts. in an Amber Alert, there are certain criteria that needs to be in the forefront of law enforcement for them to generate a Amber Alert. And here are a few of them. One, they have to know for sure that there is an abduction. Okay? They